Hello viewers, welcome to my channel QA Stack. For those who are new to my channel, I create content to help people, QAs and testers enhance their testing skills by adding new concepts of automation tools and techniques to their knowledge. Today's video is a continuation in Cypress automation series, and as part of this, I'll be showing you how to automate post request using Cypress and JavaScript. If you like the video, please hit the like button, and if you want to be part of this journey, please subscribe. There is a lot more to come. If you're struggling to automate anything, please put it in comment box and I will create a video for the same without fail. So without further ado, let's dive into the coding part. Let me open my Postman. So here under the Cypress demo, there are two services. One is Get User List, which gives you details of all the users present. And next is the Post Request, which is Create User, which creates the users. So first, we will be checking out how to post a request using Postman, and then we will be automating the same using Cypress and JavaScript. So right now, this is the request body. Let me make some change to make the request unique. It does not accept duplicate email IDs. That's why I have given a unique email ID and unique name. And as part of headers, we are passing these three headers. And this service also requires authentication, and we are passing a bearer token as part of authentication. So once I hit send, I get the response code as 201 that is created, and with the ID 1557 and all these details which are there. Now if you want to see whether this user is created, I have to hit the get user list along with the ID which we have just created and hit on send. So now it says total record 1. If you scroll down, it is showing the details of the record which is present. So this was all about how we are going to automate a post request. So let's go to JavaScript editor, that is VS Code. Before that, let me open Cypress. Cypress is already running in my machine over here. And I have opened the same folder in VS Code editor. Now let's create a new file. Let's name it as API underscore post underscore request.js. Now let me open this file using Cypress. Okay, so we have launched the script, and right now it's not having any code, so that's why we are seeing this blank page. Now let's start coding. First of all, describe. Under describe tag, we will be giving that today we are going to create a post request demonstration. Okay. Under the describe block, I'll be writing an it block. Giving it a title as create user. Now to deal with the request, the keyword which we use is request, and then inside it you have to pass in the form of JSON strings various inputs required to create the request. First one is the method. So here we'll be using the post method, then comma, and then we'll be giving the URL. So let's copy the URL from here Next is headers. Headers we can copy from here. All the headers you need to specify. Again, since headers, we are passing multiple headers, so we will be giving a JSON format for the same. These are the three values which we are going to pass: accept, content type, and authorization. So first of all, let's use the right structure. This is how we have to pass each header. Each value should be enclosed within quotes. And changing the line is marked by a comma if you have another item in the list. If you don't have anything, no need to put comma. Okay, so these are the three headers. Now here in the authorization, we are passing the access token. So in place of this, we will be providing the access token which we are using. The value of access token I need to copy and provide it here. After headers, the next thing which we are going to put is body. In body, you need to define the request body. Let's change the name. Now let's see how it's executing. Let me refresh this page. It's giving an error. Describe is not defined, type reference error. Okay, let's go back. We have not used the right syntax. So now it's executed. As you can see, we have received the response code as 201, which is created. Again, on the right hand side, you won't be seeing anything because here we are not interacting with any UI, we are just interacting with the services. So let's go back in the code and let's put an assertion on the status code. In order to put the assertion, I'll be using should keyword and I'll be passing the response. Property. Status should be equal to 201. Before property, you need to put one half. Now let's see how it executes. Okay, it's giving the error 422. Let's scroll a little bit. Has already been taken. So since we have not changed the request, it's giving us error that this particular user has already been created. So let's change the request. Let's save it and let's go back. So now the request is passed. Here you see the assertion which we put it, expected 201 to be equal to 201. So we have received 201 status. Now let's see what is the response which we are getting. To print the response, I am creating a variable response equals to response dot body. Then I will be logging this variable, but the response is in a JSON format. It's not in a string format. So to convert into a string, we have to use JSON.stringify function. This will convert this response into printable format. And let me change the name as now. Let's see how it's executed. It's created, and this is the response string, the entire string which we have received after creation of the user. So here the ID which we have received is 1566. So let's try to fetch this ID and print it separately. Generated ID. To get the ID, again we need to follow the JSON path through. So this is created under, okay, I'm not able to identify. Let's open it in a separate browser. Let's format it. All right. So the ID is under data.id. So in JSON, we have to write the path as data.id. This will give us the value of the generated ID. Now we are going to log the ID. cy.log generated ID. Again, change the name, save it. Now let's see whether we are able to log the ID. Okay, it's fetching the ID. So this is how you can automate a post request, and you can pass the headers and the body and the URL and the post type. So that is it from my side. If you like the content, please hit like button. If you want to see more content, please subscribe to my channel. Happy testing.